FactsVerse presents. Everyone thought his wife was not eating, but then she spoke up. Having a good laugh is a great way to feel a little better when you're having a bad day. Doctors also say that laughing can ease pain and it can fight disease. So, with this in mind, continue listening to my story. It may not be a true story, but it's sure to give you a good laugh. An elderly couple walked into a fast food restaurant and everybody thought that the man's wife was not eating. But then she spoke up. The elderly couple had been together for decades. They were very close, and they did everything together. And after they were married, they opened a business, they worked together their entire lives, they bought a home together, they raised children together. Even in their old age, they did everything together. Well, one day they walked into this fast food restaurant and the husband ordered one hamburger, one order of French fries, and one medium-sized drink. When the order came up, the couple went to the booth at the front of the restaurant and sat down. The man unwrapped the hamburger and he split it in half. He kept half for himself and gave the other half to his wife. Next, he counted out all the French fries and gave half to himself and half to her. Finally, he opened the straw, put it in the drink, and put it between them to share. Many other diners in the restaurant saw what was going on here and they assumed the elderly couple was living on a tight budget and that they could only afford one meal. Well, one kind man went over to the couple and offered to buy them a second meal. The elderly man told him that one meal would be more than enough for them. When the kind man walked away from the table, the elderly man started eating his meal, but his wife just sat there, taking the occasional sip of soda. A few moments later, a woman approached the table and asked the elderly couple if she could buy them a second meal. She assumed that they could only afford the one. The elderly man said they did not need a second meal, they were just used to sharing everything, so they wanted to share the meal. The man continued eating, while his wife kept sipping on the soda, not eating anything. Not long after, a third person walked over to the couple and again asked them why they were sharing such a small meal. The woman replied by saying that she and her husband shared everything. While the woman was talking, her husband continued to eat. While people were approaching the couple and offering to buy them a second meal, the other diners noticed the husband was eating his half of the hamburger and his share of the fries, but his wife was just sitting there taking sips of soda, that's all. She had yet to take even a single bite of her share of the food. Well, a woman sitting across from the couple saw everything that was going on. She thought that it was very sweet that the couple told everybody that they were sharing a meal because they always shared everything. She was wondering, though, why the man's wife hadn't taken a bite of her food while her husband was still eating. Before she left the restaurant, she approached the couple, and by then the elderly man had finished his meal and was wiping his face with his napkin. The woman asked the elderly woman why her husband had finished all of his food but she hadn't taken a single bite. The elderly woman told her that it was because they shared everything. The woman asked what she was waiting for. The woman looked at her and said she was waiting for the teeth. Her husband took the teeth out of his mouth and handed them to his wife. Okay, obviously not a true story, but it is funny. If there were a couple who shared everything, including their false teeth, it would be a funny yet disturbing story. The story was posted on Facebook, and because it's so funny, it did quickly go viral. Hopefully, you had a good laugh. If you did, click that like button, and also be sure to subscribe for more.